over the years, we've seen men who did that, like this gentleman, if I call him that, who invested in his wife, and then she changed him for him. Put it loosely. We've seen, there's this song by Prince Nico, Christiana. You remember that song, Christiana? Christiana Buenyi Mwani, yeah. Christiana Sinogalum. You know that song? Hey, Christiana, I wonder why of all the songs you now don't know this one. You know that song?
I don't know.
You know, it's a story of him, right? And he fell in love with Christiana. And so many people have a story like that. So he fell in love with Christiana, and Christiana promised she will marry him. And he loved Christiana. So the best thing for him to do is send Christiana to school. So Christiana, just like you said, yeah, everybody wants his, you know, so he wanted Christiana to be like, you know, these women he also sees. And he's a musician. And then, but then Christiana graduated, and then Christiana, she wants a graduate. He didn't go to school. You know, and what broke his heart was actually Christiana said, calculate how much you spent. But it's the love, right? It's the love now. The money doesn't mean anything to him. He just wants his Christiana back. Okay, so that kind of example. And people push these examples in the face of men and say, don't you know this man? Don't you know this man? He did this. Is this the road you want to travel on? This road will take you to nowhere. So that is where people are coming from. But I agree completely with people who say, for a man to think that way, then he doesn't understand women. You know, he doesn't understand women. I also think sometimes when women talk, either they don't understand women or they are plainly lying to themselves. And the worst thing anybody can do is to lie to, the worst thing a man can do is to lie to himself. Like I said in the radio section, there is a terrible mistake happening. And not just, I see men buy into those narratives. But the dangerous part is that we're also raising our children. If you come to the Southeast, for instance, there is something people say, and people say it, and people believe it. And people believe it, and to challenge it, people won't understand where you're coming from. They'll tell you, it could be more okay. Men say it, women say it, and it's promoted. But what does this mentality put in the man? And I tell people something. I say, be careful and streamline your thoughts. Because, for instance, I can't, in one breath, when having a discussion with people or promoting ideas, I promote the fact that Christ is the Son of God, and I do it consistently, right? But then, in another conversation, I now promote Islamic faith. So, the two things I'm saying do not align.
Yes.
But there is a proof for it. When I'm talking about that, I argue the Bible. I put the Bible. And then when I'm talking about this one, I'm saying, say, be consistent. These two books do not agree with themselves in so many areas. Okay? Now, when people talk about this thing, they actually tell me. There's another one people say, they say, hustle, so make your wife know, make your children know. Do you know? You hear
yes,
it?
yes.
Now, we are popularizing that unconsciously. Those ideas lead to something. What those ideas say is that once you have money, you can buy a woman's loyalty. That is what that thing says. On the one hand, everything they say is true. You should have this for this. It's beautiful. It's this. It gives you a better life and everything. But then when you now twist it and make men understand that once you have money, you get a woman's loyalty, that is not the truth. The truth is, with money, the kind of women money attracts, and I say this without whatever anybody thinks, are women who emotionally, these women are not invested, are not, a woman who is not, those women, emotionally, they're not invested in the man. So like this gentleman, emotionally, she's not invested in him.
At all.
You know, what happens when you invest in a woman, when you do all of these things to a woman who is not emotionally invested in you? The moment she gets those things, okay, now, see what that thinking, that grooming, I say, men, you know, we're grooming men. What that thinking tells us is that, see, the moment you do this for this woman, then she stays.
You see, I draw you.
Yeah, she stays. And that is why you hear when we are conversing, say, Cameria magic. Cameria isi pempe. See, when she came in, she saw this ECFMP. What that means, what that tells us is that you don't get the woman's loyalty, but you never do. When you invite women, when you attract a woman and she's emotionally, not there, the moment she gets those things, it doesn't tell her to stay. It tells her, now I have those things, where do I go to?
Exactly.
Right? So where does she go to? Just one of the things I won't say on air. Better places. And that's why you see these women, if you go on social media, you have a lot of them, and you see the lifestyle they exude. And so I've gotten this, I need to be in Dubai, I need to be this, I need to do this. And then it's the Tony Elumelos and it's those kind of guys, because, it's just the ticket. She now has a ticket to the world, and she has a ticket to exotic people, exotic this, exotic that, and that is exactly what the money. And it is at that point that frustration comes in, because it's just like you told somebody, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you're going to get this. If you do this, if you do this, if you do this, if you do that, then you're going to get this. So if you make money, if you give a woman money, if you give a man money, then you're going to be happy, right? Then she's going to respect you. Then she's going to be submissive. Now, they've done all of those things. And that's why you see this level of frustration people like Jude. Because they've done all of the things. They've made all of the money. So why is this man not listening to me? Right? That is why you see men saying all of those things. That is why you see a lot of men saying all of these things. But there is one truth nobody can take away, and that is, because the man should lead, because the man is the leader, and because it is the man who has been given those tools to lead, because the woman has not been given those tools to lead. Just like when it comes to, supporting the family, taking care of the children, because the woman has been given those tools to do that by nature, by her creator, because he has given her the temperament to do that. At the end of the day, do you hear what every man says? And the society says, it says, after you sweat and train these children, they follow their mother. Don't you hear men say it? Don't you hear people say, you're sweating, you're toiling, you're doing all of this? On Mother's Day, these children will remember whether they're in the UK.
The same thing is applicable to their children. You didn't invest there.
No.
Emotionally.
No. I'm saying it doesn't matter how much. The point I'm making is this. It doesn't matter how much you do this thing. Your wife, your wife was given more tools than you to nurture for these children. And it doesn't matter how much children love their daddy. The point is, look, no man can compete with a woman for that. Because this woman, naturally, some women might be different, but that is the minority. For us, the best you can do, be their friends, do everything, but the truth still remains. Look at Mother's Day, look at Father's Day. Even in those societies where you see fathers very invested, go to the West, go to America, go to UK. Father's Day is still the least popular celebrated event. In the UK, in Canada, in America, where you see all of this, you see men backing children. If you want to see that, you see men taking children to the park. At the end of the day, it's a bond that nobody can create. And so also when it comes to leadership, it is something, no matter how much women fight it, the man is the leader. And what you see many women, unconsciously to them, they don't even understand why they are fighting it, is this. When the woman, and that's why the woman needs to love the man more. I saw your topic that Saturday and I was laughing. I wish I was here. That's why the woman needs to love the man more. Because the truth is, when the woman does not love the man more than he loves her, that man cannot lead her. She can't submit to him. So a woman must say, I saw you looked at that. Do you agree? That is what Lillian is saying. Do you agree with this? Now, the woman must see. The woman must see something or some things in that man that makes him worthy of leading her, and then she submits. It's an unconscious thing, but it must happen for the man to do that. And that is why the only thing I would advise men to do is, as much as you're pouring into your wife, pour into yourself. Because it will never happen. Unfortunately for men, this is the reality men will live in. It will never happen that a woman will love a man unconditionally, the way men love women unconditionally.
There's this song that
It will never happen.
there's this man
So
that is always
invest in her by all means.
so serious.
But
So,
that's a whole different conversation. No, women do
you
not
get
love.
Saturday now.
Nobody loves men unconditionally.
There's this song that is going around on TikTok. This